Alright guys, what are the rules? Do we have some rules here? I'll tell you guys the rules now. I'm making a Sion tier list, not a top lane tier list, a Sion matchup tier list, okay? What I'm gonna be thinking is, basically, um, I'm not gonna go through I'm not gonna take, like, I'm gonna think, uh, with AD and tank Sion. Let's take Aatrox for example. Going tank is the best, so I'm gonna assume that I'm going tank. And then versus Gwen, I'm gonna assume that I'm going AD. You know? Alright, let's start off. Aatrox. I think A. If you go tank, it's fine. Action. Wait, is okay, so S stands for super hard. A stands for average hard. B stands for B bad. C stands for kinda good. D stands for dick. Alright, so this is super easy. Win all the time. Kinda good. Bad matchup. Very like hard, very hard matchup. And super hard is unplayable, right? So I think action bad. Kinda good at calling. What the fuck is this? Is this Ash? Who is this? Camille. Kinda good. Shogaff. Dick easy. Nah, it's kinda good actually. Shogaff is underrated in my opinion. Casio top, people don't really play it, but when they do it's dick easy. Darius is... I think super hard. Basically impossible. And Darius is also a strong champion. Dr. Mundo. Shit's easy. It's a tank. Tanks are useless. Fiora, super hard. Average hard actually. Because you can beat her, but you can't win versus her. You can beat her 1v1, but you can't win the game versus her. So I'll put her in average hard. YP, kinda good. It's a skill matchup. You should always win those. Garen is dick easy. Gnar, in my opinion, is bad. I could put it on kinda good, but I'm gonna put it on bad. Because of the Hullbreaker meta.
Thank you for your hard work, less than 3.
But then next patch they're nerfing Hullbreaker. So then it's gonna be kinda good. So I guess I put it here. Gragas, dick easy, dogshit champion. Graves, average hard. It is super hard, but next patch is gonna get nerfed with the Hullbreaker, so it's average hard. Gwen, super hard. But then you can also put it on average hard. But she has to be really bad. Nah, she's so fucking OP. Ilaoi, dick easy. Irelia, super hard. If she's good, it's impossible, basically. But if she's not that good, you can manage. I'm gonna put her on average. Jax. Jax, in my opinion, for some matchups, super hard. I never play versus it, right? I play versus it once or twice a week. Nobody plays this versus Sion. But I guess I revealed to the world that if you wanna beat Sion, you just pick the champion and you insta win the game. He is super hard. Nobody plays Jarvan. Jace. Dick easy, in my opinion. It is the best meta champion for Sion to go up against. Karma, easy. Kale, easy. Kennen, easy. Kled, kinda good. Kled has always been a terrible matchup for Sion. Like, you get rolled. You don't stand a chance, right? But Kled is terrible at the moment. So I would put him on super hard. But because the champion in itself is just terrible, I would put him on bad. I think that's fair. Nobody plays Lucian top. If they do, it's easy. Malphite. Easiest matchup ever for Sion. It is impossible to lose the game if the enemy team picks Malphite versus Sion. Ornn, easy. Ornn is a skill matchup. I would say it's kinda good. Ornn is kinda like Gangplank. These two deserve honorable mentions. Shad matchups. Very cool. Where it's all about the skill. Sion is like crazy good here, by the way. Sion with Volibear, are you kidding me? How do we lose? Where were we? Lulu. Dick easy. Olaf. Nobody plays it, but when they do, it's an average hard matchup. It's a rough matchup. Pantheon, nobody plays this. If they do, I would say it's kinda good to bad rate. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's not terrible either. Poppy. I think Poppy is... Poppy is a tank, right? She's considered a tank. But the thing Poppy has different from other tanks is she has access to Divine Sunderer. Malphite can't afford building it, Mundo can't afford building it. Poppy can. And that one item makes her to a only kinda good. She would be easy, but that one item makes it one step harder. Maokai, nobody plays that. If they do, you win. Quinn, for Sion, Quinn is pretty strong. I would put her kinda good. It's still a decent matchup for Sion. I would not say Quinn is very scary for Sion, to be honest. If you're unexperienced with Sion, you can stack armor. And if you're good with Sion, you should be able to beat her with AD. Morde, easy. Nasus, easy. Renne is a bad matchup. It's not terrible, but it's very bad. Like, it's bad. Rengar, bad matchup. Riven, super hard. The hardest you've ever seen. You see a Riven one trick and you're playing Sion. Life is tough. Cause what Riven does, especially these Riven one tricks, is what they do is maybe they don't jump on you and kill you all the time. Well, they do, but the thing with Riven is she scales like a motherfucker. She gets to free items. She gets bumped up to free items a few minutes earlier than others because she can farm Sion. She gets free items earlier than others. She becomes unkillable, and she just 1v9s the game. That's the problem. Laning wise, and securing CS, and beating her in a 1v1, I would put her in like kind of bad, maybe average hard, but because she takes over the game so hard, and she becomes this full tank, I think she's so strong in the current meta. With the new death stance as well, she's so broken. Rumble easy, Rise easy. Set is a bad to average hard. I'll put him on bad matchup because he has so low mobility. Like the champion doesn't have mobility, so you can abuse that. Shen. Shen is a kinda good matchup, I would say. It's you always see me lose versus it, but that's because I mean it should be a good matchup, right? I think it's a fine matchup. You can build AD and outscale him. Should not be a problem. Sion. Singed. I think Singed is a very easy lane. You can buy Hullbreaker versus that matchup and destroy him. I think Singed is a very good lane. For Sion. What more do we have? I feel like we're done with everything. Nobody plays Tom Kench anymore. They ruined that champion. Nobody plays Swain. And even if they were, they would all be easy matchups. Sylas, super easy. That's why nobody plays him. Trundle is a pretty good counter pick to Sion. I would say it's a bad matchup for him. Tryndamere, super hard. Tryndamere is the most OP champ in the game. This champ is so broken. Sion can't do anything. It's unplayable. I think this is one of the toughest matchup for Sion. Urgot, I would say is bad. It's a bad matchup for sure. You definitely lose it. But again, it's kind of the same with Set. The champion doesn't have good mobility, so you can run away from him pretty easily. Teemo, easy. I guess it's not super easy. It's kind of good. It's not 100% the win. Vayne top. Vayne top is super hard. I feel like Vayne top is... Because then you're forced into going this AD build, right? You're forced to play AD. You don't have a choice. And even if she has... like... You need to play so much better than her to have a chance, basically. Like it's... Maybe average hard. Yeah. I think she fits better there. Nobody plays Viego. No, nobody plays it. I'm not even gonna bother. Vladimir. I think Vladimir is kinda good lane. It's not 100% a win, but it's you can outscale him pretty easily. Volibear. Volibear for Sion. It's a bad matchup. Volibear as a champion kinda gets rolled by a lot of champions, but Sion in particular, Sion doesn't really have a way to deal with it, to be honest. You can go AD, and you can kinda run away from him. But all in all, it's a bad matchup, and you end up losing it. Warwick. Warwick is a hard matchup. I would put it on average hard. That champion destroys Sion. If you see a Sion, you can pick Warwick top lane if you want and literally destroy him. But yeah, nobody plays it, so I'm fine, I guess. Nobody plays Wukong. If they do, It's kinda good. You can go the tank build, and you will destroy him. I would say Wukong is kinda good matchup. Yasuo Yoni. Both gets a bad matchup. Because Yasuo Yoni are two very highly skilled champions. What happens when you have a very highly skilled champions is there's counterplay to them. All Yasuo's and Yoni's, half of their damage are skill shots. If you dodge the skill shots, you can actually have a chance. But all in all, you're still gonna end up losing the lane, for sure. But it's not unplayable. Of course, I would say Yasuo is for sure lower than Yoni. I think Yoni is so cracked. I would put them Yoni on average hard, Yasuo has a bad matchup. I think that's fair. Came to Lul Yorick. I don't know much about Yorick matchup. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what to. I don't know much about this champion. I don't think it's super easy, but I can imagine it's kinda good. You farm the little rats he spawns, you gain bonus health. Like it counts to your max health, so that's nice. If you have a decent jungler, you just camp him, because Yorick doesn't have an escape. Maybe it's more of a bad matchup, because in the 1v1 you do get rolled, I think. I don't know, man. I don't know that champ. Sack, nobody plays, said. I think that's all. I think that's all the top lane champions that are being played decent amount. I mean, I'm not obviously not gonna take like Seri, because that's being played like barely anyway. And I had never played versus it. Heimerdinger. Oh, Heimerdinger. I think Heimerdinger is... No, nobody plays him, right? I think Heimerdinger is a kinda good matchup. There's definitely stuff Heimer can do to beat you, but you should have the advantage.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is it. That's gonna be all. That is the tier list for Sion matchups. If you look to main this champion, this is the tier list.